Grace and peace, friends and family. Welcome back to another discussion. This is Joy, Pink Girl Teaches, and I thank you so much for your time. I am excited that you chose to spend some of your time with me today, and I appreciate you being here. I hope that you are continuing to nurture your soul needs as you journey beyond narcissistic abuse. It is so important that you honor yourself and you do things that bring your needs and yourself into focus. Bae, I'm sorry. I miss you. How many of you have heard those words? I know it's not only me. And these are almost the anthem songs for a narcissist. You know, many times we hear these words, and when we don't know, like when I just didn't know what I was dealing with, that was like music to my ears, because I felt initially that, oh, maybe he's recognized the error in his ways, and now we can get back to us and go back to the good old days and experience, what we had and move forward. And it's just going to be wonderful. What a lie. What an illusion. The deceit, the horror, just the nightmare. Narcissists are creatures of habit. They always do the same thing. It starts off with love bombing you. Then you experience the devaluation, the discard. Then here comes the hoover, only so that you can be love bombed again, devalued, and discard. It's a wash, rinse, repeat type cycle. It doesn't change. Well, let me say this. There are some things that do change. If you give in to the hoover, you'll find that the love bombing stage is short-lived. And then when it's time to devalue you, that comes fast and hard. It hurts more each time, should you go back multiple times. Now, since we're family and we can be transparent with one another, and we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, listen, when I didn't know what I was doing, or when I didn't know what narcissistic abuse was, and I just had no clue, and I was just moving in the fog and just everything, confusion, deception, I went back to my ex-husband, like before we actually got divorced, several times. I can't even count how many times, but it was one too many. And each time I went back, it was the same story. I mean, it was like clockwork. And I would wonder, like, what is it? Why do things have to be like this? One of the things about narcissists is that they ExRecycle. And I want you to really think about that. ExRecycle. So you're the X and they recycle you. But don't we recycle used items like, bottles, plastic bottles, cardboard, newspapers? Things are recycled, not people. And I want you to just think about that for a moment. Why would they want to recycle you? Put you in a recycle bin? That doesn't make sense. You are a whole person. And so you only recycle things, and things would indicate what you use, not what you value, what you use. And that's a brutal truth. It's a harsh truth, but we've got to face the truth so that we can transition into reality and then begin to sort through our emotions, figure out what's true and what's not, and transition to the next state. That will be our most significant state. We are going to evolve until these wheels fall off. We are going to continuously become a better version of ourselves. And that's one thing that we can be grateful that we are able to do, because narcs can't do that. They don't self-reflect. But this is what I want this moment to be for us. I want this to be an opportunity for us to see things for what they really are. Babe, I'm sorry. I miss you. Lies straight from the pit of hell. Lies, trash, and garbage. Not a single one of those words are true. What the narcissist wants is to always keep you as an extension of themselves. They want to keep you in their back pocket. They want to keep you in their narcissistic harem. They want to shelve you like you are some rag doll that they pull off the shelf, play with when they feel like it, and put you back on. They want to snatch you off that shelf like you're that thing that is at their disposal for whenever they decide to use it. And I want to break this down so that you can understand that you are not a thing. You are a person who has been fashioned and formed in divinity. You were created in the image and likeness of God. How dare somebody else think that you are an item? And for one thing, before they can even insult you by treating you like some casual object for their playtime, that's their perception of God. Because when you respect God, you respect all his children, whether you like them or you don't. You respect all his children because he makes us all in his image and in his likeness. And so just out of respect and out of relationship with him, there's some things you just don't do. But it doesn't work this way with the narcissist. And I also want you to take a moment to consider that you, yes, you, my sister, my brother, who was fashioned and formed in divinity, you were made in the image and likeness of God. That means you must respect yourself the same way that you would respect God. Now, I'm not saying that we are on the same level of God, but when he breathed his air in his nostril, when he formed you in his image and likeness, that means that you're an heir of royalty, and you've got to remember that and treat yourself as such. Royalty does not belong in trash cans. Royalty does not belong in recycle bins. We must be insulted that somebody would think that I'm going to place you on a shelf, and when I'm bored, when I need attention, when I want to control your life because it looks like you're doing something good and that you're getting attention and you're getting adoration and admiration from other people, I want to step in on that moment. I want to experience that too. But when I'm done with you, I'm going to put you back on the shelf where you belong while I go back to my other situations. It's all about controlling you. This is abuse. If you do talk to them, what you signal to them or what they hear is that you're still in love with them. So that means that you're a good tool to be used. You're a good rag doll. You're a good car to play with, take for a spin today. But when you reject them and you maintain the no contact, you don't entertain any of the hovers, it offends them. Of course, it bruises their ego. They experience a narcissistic injury. And they go around calling you the jealous ex, the bitter one, the crazy ex. And then they use you to make their current partner pity them. Professional victims. Look at me, boo-hoo. Nah, tink, tink, you getting what you deserve. Because you've always got to remember that anytime somebody disrespects you, the onus is, or the only response, should I say, is to respect yourself. That is the only response. When somebody disrespects you, it is your responsibility to respect yourself. Even if it means you have to pick yourself up off the floor and go cry somewhere, then do that. But don't let them see you do it. Go and process your emotions and feel what you are feeling, because your feelings are not an indictment of your character. If you're bitter, then be bitter. If you're angry, be angry. If you are furious, be furious. Be whatever you are feeling. If you're feeling a sense of hopelessness, shame, anger, embrace those emotions. Don't lay down with them and make love to them, but process your way through them so that they don't pull you down and you're not yoked to them. Narcissists don't come back into your life because they suddenly had an epiphany and they want to do the right thing by you. And many times when I talk about narcissistic abuse, looking at it from a biblical perspective, I want to see, well, what could they possibly be doing? Because we know that they are used by the enemy, right? And the enemy can't really throw off what God's plans are for you. But the enemy does have the ability to change your seasons and your timings. So sometimes we miss opportunities, we miss moments, we miss things that we could be enjoying, we miss attaining certain goals because we are entertaining these narcissists in our lives. And granted, for the most part, at some point we did not know. But when you are aware that you are dealing with a narcissist, and if you are listening to me, then you know, don't entertain them. What is ahead of you is so much more important than what is behind you. And those are the things the enemy wants to keep you from laying hold of. The plans and the purposes for God that God has for your life. The enemy can't stop God, but he would try to delay you in achieving those things. And I think for many of us, that's why sometimes we feel like I should be so much further ahead. I should have accomplished these things by now. If I wasn't in this relationship with this person, I would be so much further along in life, but I had to sacrifice my time, my energy, my finances, my focus on doing these things. Be very aware of what is happening as you advance beyond narcissistic abuse, or you advance from that particular situation, because they watch you. They will always come back to recycle. They will always come back to use you to try to get access into your life when they sense that there is a shifting in your life. And their goal, again, is always to steal, kill, and destroy, as per John 10:10. And so just be alert that when the end comes, let the end of a thing be the end of a thing. I know sometimes we feel so much despair because it feels like it's a death of our dreams. It's the death of our hope. It's the death of something that, we cared about and we nurtured. But I just want to remind you that you serve a mighty, powerful God. He is the God who is able to resurrect the dead. He can resurrect your hope. He can resurrect the love in your heart. He can resurrect your dreams, your goals, your vision, your purpose, all of those things. Okay, so now after you've dealt with this narcissist, your perspective on love and relationships and family and just life in general has changed, and it tells you that nothing good can happen and everything in the world is evil. Let me just remind you, this same God who raises the dead is the same God who makes all things new. He will turn your perspective around. He will change the way that you see things. All you have to do is put your hope and your trust in Him. Continue to work on that relationship. Continue to focus on Him while you go about and do the work, whether you are you're engaging the services of a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. Maybe you are going to a therapist, or you are going for counseling, psychotherapy, or you have group coaching, or whatever it is. Do all of those things, because those are tools that God gave you so that you can overcome. And when you overcome, you're able to testify. And so I just want to encourage you that no, even though those words, babe, I'm sorry, I miss you. Let's be honest. At some point, we all wanted to hear them. Lord knows I did. But they don't deserve you. They never did deserve you. They will never appreciate you. They will never value you. And, if we have faith in God, we can trust Him to bring something better at the right time into our lives. Something that will not look like anything that we have encountered or experienced in the past. I don't want you to give up hope on what lies ahead for your future, but I definitely do want you to see yourself as more than a rag doll or a car that's just going to be pulled out the garage to spin around the block for a hot minute. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are the apple of God's eye. You are an heir of royalty. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Listen, you have great things ahead of you in this life, and you shall achieve them all in Jesus' name. I thank you so much for your time. Continue to be great. Continue to be fearless, and God bless you.